What up, everybody?
What's going on?
I got that.
Wait till live. Look, you can see the sweat stains in my shirt.
He was dirty over here. Came over to the studio dirty as shit.
Yeah, life happened. Life happened on my way here. So, but I'm here. So let's get started.
We here. We up in here.
The Black Manosphere.
What's up, peoples? What's going on? Last week we talked about
Black on
black violence.
Yeah.
She sent me a text earlier saying they're gonna have the arraignment or whatever of the guy tomorrow at 9:00. So
9 a.m.
Yeah, 9 a.m. So she was asked for prayers and everything, that justice be served.
All right. Hey, I'll tell you that
9
that
a.m.
situation been on my mind so much because after talking to her, I started looking at like my kids' friends, like, you know, what's going on with right. You know, I'm serious, man. I was just like, wow. But the stats say that it's gonna be somebody you know who's gonna victimize you most likely.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody you're aware of.
Let me do a sound. Let me think.
I don't even have no head.
You only have no. Well, you don't need to hit.
Oh, you got. Oh, you fancy up there.
Yeah, you don't need to. Yeah, you can have it if you want to, but
got me looking like the radio DJ.
Yeah, because I had a video in there so they could see it on live. I'm gonna plug this up.
Okay.
So they can hear it over there. But anyway, hey people. Yeah, we here once again. Tuesday, June the 6th. Yeah. Still with our segment, The Cancers of Our Community. This one is going to be about consumerism. Let me get into it. I'm just going to play this video I got first to start it off because I got y'all a video.
Get some videos going on.
So.
If you died right now, would you leave bills or benefits?
I'm going to leave behind benefits.
Bills? Well, I'll leave both. Benefits and bills.
Benefits.
And bills.
I leave shoes, jewelry.
Got a little something saved. I got an insurance policy, but I got some bills too.
That's a funny question.
As a child, my family did not teach me about money because we didn't really have a lot of money growing up.
We didn't have a lot of conversations about it, other than, is it possible I can get a nickel or a dime or a quarter?
So we didn't realize we were being tricked to be a consumer. Until this day, some of us are still consumers because we're still trying to be fresh.
Louis Vuitton don't want black folks in their clothes. Gucci don't want black folks in their clothes. But we kill ourselves to go give the people that hate us the most our money.
We're just kind of living and we're doing it and going on, but not really taking close inventory of what we're spending.
Listen, sisters, I love me some red bottoms just like the next person, but I think it is absolutely ignorant and insane and crazy to be more focused on getting another pair of red bottom shoes when you don't even have a red bottom bank account.
And these kids running around the internet beating each other up for World Star. You got all this other stuff that you got to worry about that they don't sit down and say, this is $1, this is a quarter, this is a dime, this is a nickel. And that's what I think the issue is.
So if I don't know myself, you give me $1 billion, I'll act like I don't know who the I am. I'm going to be in the strip club and throwing it away.
Everybody on Instagram appears rich, particularly to the rest of the world.
Black people, we are the single richest African community on the face of the globe. And it makes absolutely no sense that we have poverty.
In 1910, for instance, we own more businesses per 100,000 African Americans than we do today.
Because right now, 99% of the blacks or the resource in the countries are under the hands of whites. 87% of it is frozen, locked into their hands. So how are black folk going to compete?
Living in America, I've witnessed very small portions of land and wealth be transferred from one generation to the next. With $1.1 trillion in buying power, what's prohibiting our team from pooling our talents and winning in society?
And see, the problem is we get paid on Friday, get drunk on Saturday, go to church on Sunday, and then go back to work on Monday.
We can say it's the the best of times and the worst of times, we're a $1.1 trillion annual economy. If we were a nation, we'd be the 16th richest nation in the entire world.
We've been taught the wrong things about money. We've been taught that money is a result rather than what it really is a tool.
If I would have understood that early on at a younger age, I would have been way further along in my career than, things just now started to happen.
What can we do to ensure that we're leaving a legacy for our children?
Make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people that have the information and the knowledge of what you need in order to grow to the next level.
We need to make sure that you do have something so your children don't have to start at ground zero again when you pass away, or even negative from having to put you in the ground.
That's
right.
Okay, yeah, that's enough of that.
Say enough of that.
Enough of that. Yeah, that was a film, the Black Friday film. It is starring a bunch of people, and Dr. Claude Anderson. If you the people on Instagram, y'all don't know who that was. Did y'all didn't see the film? But Dr. Claude Anderson, he's real good about money stuff. I have a couple books from him,
right.
And David Banner's also big on that. Who else? Killer Mike. Killer Mike is also big on that, keeping the black dollar in the community.
Right.
When we're talking about our community, right, the cancers our community, I think we have, I think it was 1 trillion. They said
1.1 trillion.
$1.1 trillion to spend buying power, and we make what we make, but we spend pretty much every cent of it.
Yeah. Now, do you know whether or not that buying power is considered like far as credit limits as well, or is it just strictly cash?
I think it's credit also.
It's credit also.
Yeah, it's all
encompassing.
Yeah,
one. Okay, but yeah, that's a whole lot of money. They said you'd be number 16 in the world.
In the world, if we
if
pooled our money
if
together,
we were our only nation. That's heavy right there. But my take on this is, in America, I'm speaking for America strictly. It's a capitalist country, so it's based on consumption. If people stop consuming, the economy dies. We hit recession and all this. My point is, where are we spending our money? Where are we putting our money? I'm not telling you not to consume. I'm just saying, just be more thoughtful in how you go about it. This guy was talking about, David Banner say Gucci don't want you in their club. I can't say Gucci whether they do or they don't. I don't think Gucci care. They like to see the money.
They like money.
They like the money. That's why anybody gets in the business. Anybody tell you to get in the business for the love of it, then most likely they just got a very expensive hobby. But people get in the business to make money for the most part. But we got to be smart about how we spend our money in the black. If we want to see the black community,
grow and thrive.
Well, grow and thrive, but just be respected. Have some say so in how we're portrayed, because that has a lot to do with that image that we talked about. That image of black people. So
think about the Asian Americans, right? They hate bill. They did overnight. It was overnight. It was like a day or something like that.
But they got by. They got access. They got hey, that was done immediately.
But there was no picketing. They had to. They had to do nothing.
They had to tip nothing.
Nobody wrote a sign.
Nothing was burned down.
Nope.
They the same, man.
That's what money do for your community.
Absolutely, people listen. Money talks, and that's what influences these politicians who make these laws. Is money. So we got to be smart about how we spend our money now. And I'm not telling you not to go out there and enjoy some of it, but also be responsible with a lot of it, and create a legacy. We talked about, the future generation. Don't make them have to go through the same things that you went through. And there's nothing wrong with hard work. I'm not talking about the hard work aspect. It's just, pass on some knowledge to them, pass on, some assets to them, to where they can, they don't have to start at the bottom. And because if you look at other communities, that's why when I'm saying communities, I'm talking about, nationalities or
the
race.
Jewish community.
However you want to look at it. That's why it appears that they are so much farther ahead financially than we are, because each generation didn't have to start from the bottom.
Yeah, they didn't start from scratch.
Right, they didn't start from scratch.
They had other stuff. Jewish community, I know for sure, they don't leave money to their kids; they leave it to their grandkids. So it ensures that their legacy goes further.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, when the kids grow up, they see, okay, my child has this much money, so I have to be more responsible, and I'm going to follow what my parents did because then I can leapfrog to the next generation.
It makes sense too when you actually think about it. It makes sense because you talking about 2 generations that you just took care of by leapfrogging it like that. But it's money. I can't remember the guy's name, but he said it. Money is a tool.
Yeah, Harper Hill.
There you go.
Harper Hill. Yeah, he's a big on that also. And we don't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I know that now, but growing up, and I didn't grow up poor or disadvantaged like that. I tell anybody, I said I never had my lights turned off or never went without eating, but I still don't understand what money was. I just thought you get it, you spend it, and you get something to make you happy, or you get you a toy.
Oh yeah,
because that's all I cared about. Was toys and stuff like that. But as I got older, I realized what influence does, and that's what money. I mean, you can pull some serious strings with money, and when you leverage it properly, you can make a much better life for you, your family, the generations coming behind you. So that is a very important thing.
And another thing about that is we, as Black folks, we tend to use money. We use it as a tool, but we use it the wrong way. We use it to make us feel good. It's a tool to make us feel a certain way.
We use it as a tool of how can I say this, as of maybe envy or worth.
To make us make it status.
A status. There you go. To say, oh, you see how much money I got? Because I hear a lot of people, they going back and forth about what you pay for that. Cost means a lot. And my thing is, and there's nothing wrong with having nice stuff, not at all. But if the cost determines it, that's the wrong aspect. I've seen a lot of expensive things that are cheap. And when I say cheap, I mean cheaply made. It's one thing to spend money and get a quality item. It's another thing to spend money and you get something cheap. I guarantee you, if you ask 90% out of the people out there who carry Louis Vuitton bags, they'll tell you it's a leather bag, and it's not. It's a synthetic material. It's not leather. It's vital. But I like I said, 90% of the people probably don't even know that. Oh, this leather? No, it's not leather. You playing for that's plastic, baby. It's a high grade of plastic. Is what you're paying for.
What you're paying for is the brand.
It's the name.
It's the brand.
It's the name. And I'm not saying they make. I know for a fact they make very good luggage, and that's why it's made out of the material that it's made out of. Because it was, I think it was. I don't know if it was originally for luggage, but it makes good luggage. It's durable, and it lasts. But the people who are consuming it in my community, I think a lot of them don't even understand. What kind of material it actually is. They just assume it's leather because it's it's expensive and they spent all this money for it.
I don't know about it never because I don't plan on buying any.
Well, I know me and Louis don't. I don't hang. Now I can't speak for my entire family, but me and Louis personally don't. We don't hang out.
We don't have a relationship.
Yeah.
We don't have a relationship. Me and Louis don't get along. But I mean, my whole thing is that in our community, we see this too many times with we get a certain age, we start making money, we start spending our money to impress people that don't even give a damn about us.
Right.
Don't give a damn about us. We fail to put money on the side. Something happened to somebody in our family. We asking, begging for money from other people.
Go fund me.
Something happened to us. We begging for money for other people to try to get stuff done. And if we would have did the right thing, if we would have appropriated other people's culture, right? Because they do it for us.
Right.
They take shit for us. So we need to learn how to take certain things from them that works.
Right.
And it's how we're gonna get ahead. And it's just crazy to me. Like you see all this stuff, social media is real big. You see all this stuff, people, on Instagram and everything, dressed all up, they matching, they sharp. They sharp. Then you see them, something happen.
They got that GoFundMe out there.
GoFundMe, PayPal. They got their PayPal. They PayPal account up there. It's crazy. Like we have too much money. Let's talk about with these PPP loans. Everybody got money right now, And I'm looking at Lennox. I'm looking at damn Phipps.
They standing in line.
Packed, standing in line.
Standing in line to buy these items. I don't do lines very well. So I'm not gonna say I never or I haven't, but if I gotta stand in line to get your product,
spend my money,
to give you my money, it's chances are it's not gonna happen.
Spend my money.
Now if it's a life-saving cure or it's life-changing, then maybe. But you talking about giving your money away for a personal possession that probably will not gain any value after you buy it.
And most time those fashion items, and they go out the next season,
right?
So,
or you might get a good 2 seasons out of them, but but like you said, it's short-lived.
Yeah, it's short-lived.
It's short-lived.
Yeah. The ROI on your investment ain't shit.
No,
there ain't no rate of return on Louis belts. Ain't no.
Not just belts, but let's talk about vehicles.
That too. Yeah, true.
That's nothing wrong with having a nice car, but when you are robbing Peter to pay Paul in order to have that vehicle, because it's a depreciating item. I'm not even gonna call it an asset because it's not. I guess it's slightly an asset because it allows you to move, especially in a city like Atlanta where you gotta get back and forth. That concept of a car is an asset. Now, the
concept. Yeah,
the concept of having transportation is an asset, but the kind of you don't have to. You can go out and get a very good car for $2,500. But a lot of times we use our car as an extension of who we are. And
because we want people to look at us and we want people to see us.
Yeah. And I'll be honest. Once you ride in a certain kind of car, you're like, man, I can't go back. I can't go back to Cross City.
I can't go back to a box Chevy. What is that?
Right. But all I'm saying is make sure you can afford it. It's I can't remember who I was listening to. He said, if you can't buy 5, you can't afford
Jay-Z. I think it's Jay-Z.
No, this wasn't Jay-Z, but he, I don't know who got it from who, but I heard if you can't buy 5 of them, you can't afford one.
Yeah, you can't afford. Yeah, and you can't buy it several times. You can't afford one of them.
And that's how I look at all the purchases I make. Can I buy 5 at all? If not, well, let me step back. I can get something I can buy 5 times, and then I can afford this one. So that's a good rule. The rule of 5, I think, is what they call it. So that's a good rule to manage your finances.
Oh, houses,
houses is
another thing.
The good thing about a house is it can gain value over time. It can appreciate over time, but still. That's what happened in 2008 when we had the housing market crash. I mean, it was, and I'm not in anybody's pocket. Don't get me wrong, but it was everybody had 3 houses, and they they was spending $300,000-$400,000. And I'm like, they giving houses away? What's going on?
Oh yeah, there's damn subprime mortgage loans, man.
Yeah, it was a real thing, and real estate is a great opportunity. But what that caused, what that created was an opportunity for people who know how to use money.
Yeah.
When the housing market crashed, people who had assets, who had resources, were able to go out and buy these expensive homes for much cheaper value. And now they're sitting well. I wish I was in a position to do the same thing then, but I wasn't.
Me also.
I wasn't. Yeah. It's
But the thing that we don't understand about that too is that with these houses, yes, it can be an asset for generations, but the thing is we don't understand is we go get a house that's higher, then we don't understand them taxes come along with it, and and you can't control the taxes.
Like I said, the taxes
you can't control it.
Taxes is one portion.
Yeah,
you talking about the maintenance.
Maintenance,
yeah. House. You don't get to call your landlord and say, "Hey, the roof leaking," or the toilet ain't working. You got to pay for that. So. In reality, you don't need much more than 4 walls and a roof for proper shelter. We always go over and above what we really need in order to make it, And I don't want to. I think I already said this. I don't want to talk down on having nice things, but just make sure you're in the position to acquire those nice things. Don't use your last just to say, okay, I got this.
My thing is, if you can't, and this is what I always say, if you can't give like to your kids. Leave something for next generation, then you should have your house, then you should be able to create wealth on the side, put money on the side for your kids to come up, or if anything happens, like majority of people don't have a savings account. Like you're supposed to, when you have something like a house or something, you're supposed to have at least 6 months of
bills
saved up. majority of people don't have that.
They don't. The majority of people don't have that. The majority of people don't have something as simple as life insurance.
Life insurance.
If somebody who one of the breadwinners in the home passes away, that income needs to be replaced, or if not, you put that family in a deficit. In a bad situation. So life insurance is a very important thing. I'm glad I learned that early on. It's and it's nobody likes to pay insurance, but it's a necessary. I'm calling it necessary evil.
Yeah, necessary evil
because it's protection for. It's exactly what they call it. It's insurance. If a tragedy does happen, at least your family they don't have to sit there and suffer your loss as well as all the financial losses that they may have to go through without insurance. So insurance is a very important thing to have as an adult, especially if you have a family and you have assets that you're trying to protect. But so how do we want to approach this consumerism? We want to talk about the downfalls because we kind of went on a little tirade.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we went on. About 20 minutes, 15-minute tirade on it. But
we want to talk about some solutions here. What we got?
Well, I mean, I think the solution is education, financial education. That starts at home. That starts with parents first educating themselves, and then teaching the kids, because you're gonna stuff's gonna stick with you longer if you get taught when you're younger.
Absolutely.
And we have to educate ourselves as grown ass men and women to first of all what money is. Like you said, money is a tool. How to use it correctly. How to leverage it for whatever we want without breaking the bank for stuff, because we have a problem with delayed gratification.
Hey man,
that's
I was having this. I was ranting about this this week, but go ahead.
If you ask anybody, right, any financial guru, whatever you want to call them, they preach delayed gratification. It helps your bank account. It helps discipline. It's big. It's all it is about discipline. Discipline yourself.
It gets you out your feelings. Trying to feel good based on I can do this. Delayed gratification is something that I think it has to be taught. You have to show them. When I say them, I'm talking about your family or whoever you are mentoring over. That it's okay to not have it tomorrow. Money does so much more for you when you put it to work, in an investment, whether that be your business or some stocks or crypto or whatever you choose to use for an investment vehicle. But you don't have to have everything right now. People always talk about men in their midlife crisis and how they go out and buy these
sports cars and stuff. Yeah,
but I don't think that's what it is. I think a lot of these men have delayed their gratification. They put themselves in a position to where when they turn 50, they can go out here and buy that car they always dreamed about. And that's when that's really when men hit their earning potential or their stride is in their mid 40s.
Mid 40s, yeah.
So it's accessible then. But education, like you said, with the parents is a very important thing. But also, we talked about this the other day. Your kids are in school for roughly 8 to 9 hours a day. I think I had 1/4 of economics, a single quarter out of the entire time I was in grade school of economics, talking about money. And I don't know if that was done on purpose to keep me in the dark about how money works.
Yeah, they want us to be consumers.
Absolutely, because that's the American way. This country is built on capitalism. If everybody kept their money in their pocket, this country would crumble. But I remember 1/4, and I think I was when I finally took it. I may be in the 9th, 10th grade when I finally took economics. It was 1/4 of economics, and then it didn't go into using money as a tool and leverage. It talked about supply and demand. Overall macro
basic economics.
Yeah, macro, but it didn't get into budget. A lot of people hear the word budget and they lose their mind.
They cringe
about
like,
what? I'm not poor.
Exactly.
They think being poor. It's a way to be accountable to what's going in and out of your household or your bank account. Budget is. I think that's. I'm gonna get on a solution. I think a budget is needed by every household, and then once you get into the household, every individual in that household needs to have their own budget. and that budgeting their money as well as their time and resources. So that's one of my solutions to this consumption is a budget. Put you 5-10% aside to have a good time with, enjoy the fruits of your labor, but also take the rest of it and put it towards something bigger than tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's look 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road. I'm still learning that myself. I'm doing it, but I'm not doing it at a level that other people
consistent.
are doing.
Consistent. And I think that's another, what you just mentioned was it's another way to combat that consumerism is you don't buy for tomorrow. Right. You don't, if you're spending stuff for what's going on tomorrow, then you're usually making a decision, rash decision based on your emotions. Yeah. But if you look further down the line, the thing is your needs are going to change. So what is further down the line, if it's going to be good for that, then, it might be a sound decision.
Absolutely.
You have time to grow into or build whatever you want to get at that point. But we make too many rash decisions. We use money, we use our emotions to spend our money, to do stuff. Just like example, just like they tell people never go to the store hungry, go and buy groceries hungry, right?
Because you're gonna buy everything.
You're gonna buy everything in that. And that's the thing we do, right? We get money, and just because we got money in our pocket, we see everything, we're gonna buy it because we got money. Just like they say, people that become millionaires, right? Within 5 years, they broke. Majority of them within 5 years.
You talking about
lottery winners. Lottery winners. When they become,
winners.
Not the people that work for it, but I'm saying lottery right.
winners. And that's because they haven't changed their mindset.
Mm-hmm.
They still got. I tell people all the time, if you make $5 million a year, but you spending $5 million and $1, you broke.
You broke. You might as well not made that $5 million.
You broke. It's crazy. Another thing, like you said, going into the grocery store hungry, using a credit card. This is where I got my financial house in order back in 06, 07. Using the credit card, a lot of times it's a credit card. You just buy, and you don't think about it till the bill come in. Like, oh, I spent. I'm gonna mention David Ramsey. That's Financial Peace. That's where I got my spending habits, or learn how to budget.
Yeah,
and I started taking cash out every month for the entire month. And it's a different feeling when you go in the store and you got to go in your pocket. You start peeling off cash. You start counting it. You're like, oh, let me put that back.
Yeah. I don't need that.
Put that back, but what it did, it told me to be conscious of what I was spending. And then it caught, because I was taking out the money that I was using for the month. Everything that I didn't take out was in the bank. So, your bank account started looking a little better. You
look fat, yeah.
It look kind of healthy. And that's an encouraging thing. And it causes, because everybody like to see, numbers in their bank account. It causes you to start, okay, let me, this working. It's all right. But it take you about 3 or 4 months for you to get over the initial shock of not,
because you feel like you're punishing yourself at first.
You're not.
Yeah, you feel like you're being punished.
In reality, you're rewarding yourself. You just, nobody ever showed what showed me how to reward myself.
No, majority of black people. You can say majority black people.
I say the majority of people, but we talking about black people.
97%, probably 98% of black people. 99.9. Well, black people had to learn a lesson how to, because so think about this. Black folks, when we were able to make our money and keep our money, we would just let off the plantation. It was like, all right, here you go. We didn't know anything about money. And then from one generation to the next, they couldn't teach us nothing. Because so next generation couldn't teach us nothing. I think like with the generation before us and this generation, we have more information.
Yeah.
Right? We have more information.
And more money.
And more money, yes. Yeah.
Excuse me. Like you said, they let you out the plantation with money, and you're like, now what? And a lot of times you end up wasting it.
Yeah.
But my mind just stepped away from it for a minute. But we gotta remember how to. I guess what's the word I'm looking for? We wanna pass this along, like you said. Nobody showed the people before us, but we gotta. Half of us don't know now.
Yeah.
I say half. It's probably more than that. But we got to start passing this information along. I've always said, you mentioned this earlier, if you want your kids to know something, you better teach it to them yourself. Because if you wait on the school system to show it to them or anybody else, then you failed your children.
It won't happen.
It's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen the way you want it to. Even if somebody does make an attempt, it's not going to be what you want them to know. So this is something that we need to pass on: budgeting, how to spend, how to leverage your money, how to, be a business owner, but where you are in control of more decisions of what your money is doing for you.
Yeah, we have to learn to study people. Like we tend to believe that we know what's best all the time. We walk around like, okay, just because I'm survived, I know what's best, and it's like, well, I can't do any better. Like I can't learn something to make me any better, and that's where we fail as Black folks.
You hit the nail on the head, because I always wonder that why do we always go to people who have never done what we're trying to do and ask them for advice? And they'll tell you they have no shame. Oh, this all you gotta do.
All you gotta do is this. Oh,
they've never done it.
Let me see your bank account.
Right? They've never done it, but they can tell you exactly how to do it or how it should be done. We got to start seeking out the people who've done these things, who are accomplished, and look for their mentorship or leadership, and don't be afraid to pay them, for their time, for their wisdom, because that's part of, like, that's how we said money is a tool. That's how you leverage it.
Yep.
Some people frown upon mentors, but it's the reason they are where they are. Don't be afraid to, now if it's out of your budget, find you a cheaper mentor, or get on you. I'm a YouTuber to show you all kinds of stuff.
Show you a bunch of stuff.
But don't be afraid.
I think it's a pride thing. We like to feel like we independent. We doing our own.
Like we know everything.
Yeah.
But hey, nobody knows everything. So don't be afraid to get some help, man. It's all right. It's not a lack of manhood. If you ask another successful person, how did you do that? And especially if they're willing to tell you, so share that information. But that's, for me, that's one of the solutions is budgeting. Know what you're spending every month and what you're spending it on. You need to account for every single dollar that comes into your home and leaves your home. And I mean down to the dollar. I'm not gonna put you on the cent, but now and another thing I tell everybody, I say I roll. Well, I used to roll it. Now I just take it to my bank, and they got a machine.
Roll the coins.
I used to roll $700-800 worth of coins every year. Just taking my change out my pocket, throwing it in a little thing.
That's because you use cash. Like majority of people don't use cash.
See, that's the thing. And that's what that was the whole thing about me getting the cash out every month. I take the change, just throw it in the bucket. Every 6 months, I'm cashing in $300-400. Put it right back in the bank. That's, and this people, I pick up change on the ground all the time. People look at coins as being insignificant. It take a penny to make $1. People don't believe.
You know them old men. That
hey, if it's shining and it's on the ground, I'm gonna grab it. But that's a true statement. It takes a penny to make $1. So that penny, although you might think it's insignificant, you get enough of them, you can it'll make you $1. And I prove it to myself every year. Like I said, using cash, putting the change in a jar, and then taking it to the bank twice a year, maybe. But it's a real thing. So like I said, my first thing is get on a budget. Let's get on a budget.
But budget money, budget your funds.
Absolutely, budget your funds.
So I did a commercial out of what you call them. I had a couple questions. So the first one was, does wearing designer increase your worth? That's we're going back to the clothes thing. Does wearing designer increase your worth? That's our issue. Like, we don't see worth in ourselves, in the community. So I think it was Kanye said something about that in his song about
which one? He
not the crazy Kanye. It was in the beginning. It was when he's on his meds and stuff.
Kanye, all right with me.
Not the crazy one.
Hey, when you got a mind like his, it's hard to understand him. I think he has a brilliant
mind.
Oh
yeah, he does.
So it's when you try to compare yourself to somebody who thinks out of the boxes, you can't really compare it. But Clark Howard, I don't know if everybody, I'll say Clark Howard, everybody knows, but he's another financial guy. But he talks, he's under the strong belief that the quality you get in a $5 shirt and $100 shirt is pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same. Yeah, it is.
And It is, but I will say depending on what you're getting, what brand you're getting, you can see a difference in quality. Now the question is it worth?
Are you gonna wear it that much? Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Is it worth the extra money that you spent for it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, that's the real question. And some people may say, yeah, it's it's what the lady was talking about, the red bottoms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's worth it to have the red bottoms. Okay, they wear just like the other shoes. As far as
Yeah, they wear out. Yeah, they wear out.
Do they allow you to like glide or something when you're walking? Or can you
No,
hover?
No, you can't hover. You ain't hovering on red bottom.
I don't know. I don't have any. I don't.
If you look at the spending habits of the rich people, the billionaires, millionaires, they'll tell you they buy the same clothes. They have, like, if they're gonna buy khakis, buy a bunch of khakis, that way they don't get caught up in that craziness to where they spend unnecessarily.
Right.
They have this uniform thing, and it's like, all right. Plus, they don't have to waste time, right? Figuring out
I've heard
what to wear.
I have not yet adopted that lifestyle, but I heard that they will buy the same thing, so that they will eat the same thing in the morning, so they don't have to. Their brain power is used to
other stuff, making money.
How can I make more money?
Yeah.
So they get up, they know what they're putting on, they know what they're eating, and it's second nature for them to eat, and now their time is devoted to let's increase this money, let's get this wealth even bigger, and I'll be honest, the people that I met who are what we would call rich or wealthy, you would never know it.
No,
they
you
weren't,
never know.
They weren't
You never know.
flashy.
Yeah,
They
I met a couple millionaires, and
they drive normal cars. I think a lot of times we look at celebrity status and equate that with being rich, and that's not the reality for the majority of people who are wealthy. Is the big house. I'm not saying that they don't have big houses, but that's not a lot of the people that got nice bank accounts. They live right. They say the millionaire next door. They
don't show it.
Yeah, they don't live that far away from you. They don't show their money. They rather have it in the bank, or they have it in a different asset working for them, making them more money. So that's another thing. Let's stop trying to look rich and
be rich. Actually, be rich.
Let's be rich, and and I'm talking to myself, guys. I'm doing this. Everybody like to look nice, but it's a time and place for everything, and it's a limit. How much am I willing to spend to have that appearance of wealth versus how much time or money am I willing to put into actually being wealthy?
And why does wealth matter? Why does having an appearance of wealth matter?
That's that ego thing.
That's what it is. We're paying for ego. That's what we're paying for.
Yeah.
We're only paying for ego.
Yeah.
And once we get past that, I think that ego, we can have so many things in our life. We accomplish so many things. We get past so many things. A lot of our issues in our personal life and our community would be fulfilled or be bypassed by having, getting rid of your ego.
Yeah.
Who are you? I mean, you shit and you put your pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else.
I like that.
So
was like, who are you?
Who do
you think you are?
Yeah, and that's what it is. We have to get to that thinking that way. Yeah. I'm no better than nobody else.
And you're definitely not better because of what you have, or what you spent on dinner last night, or or the kind of shoes you have on. But I think for a lot of people, and I can only speak for the community that I'm a part of, we equate our worth with what we have, how we're dressed, and it's nothing wrong. Like I said, I love looking nice. I like to put on some nice clothes, but they don't have to cost a lot. They don't, or even if they did, I made it a point now when I shop for clothing to not have anybody's name on it. Now it may be a name brand,
but
piece, but I'm not advertising for anybody.
Exactly.
I say that as I have on a shirt with a logo on it, but but like I said,
I have old clothes, like I polo stuff, but it's stuff I've been bought,
right.
So,
but now I look for that specifically is to try to find clothing that doesn't have anybody's name. It's just I think it looks nice, and it could be from the thrift store.
Marshalls.
I go to the thrift store and I find a lot of nice stuff. I got a good lady who can tailor, and she can make it fit the way I want it to fit. And or it could be like you said, it could be I'm not gonna say in the necessarily a high end store, but it'd be something I bought online. That was full retail, but I'm not doing any more free advertising if I can help it for anybody. And that's exactly what it is when you wear these clothes or bags that have somebody's name, And I still have some of that stuff, and I still wear it because I'm hold on to it till it fall apart. But I'm making it a point to try to find clothing that that I think it just tailors for me. It fits what I'm trying to do. So,
and we got to look at that as far as when name brand stuff or other people name on is that we're helping make other people kids rich versus our own kids.
Yep.
Like if you love your kids, how can you put money in another person's kid's mouth?
Yeah. And well, I don't have a problem with you necessarily putting money in their mouth, but not all of it.
Well, when we do it, it's to the highest level.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We doing it at a now I'm encompassing my community when I say we, but I think everybody understand where I'm coming from. We a lot of times we overdo it. I mean, I see, they got to have the belt, the pants, the shirt, the hat.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
To the highest level.
And like I said, it got the names all over it. I'm done with that. No more free advertising. Because somebody see that, oh, that's free advertisement for whoever the name brand is that especially if it looks nice. If you put it together and it looks nice, I say, okay, I need to go get
this. This is what I need to do to look nice.
Yeah, I need to go get something that has this on it that says that on it. So it's a real thing. It's a struggle, but you gotta, like you said earlier, get rid of that ego and find your worth as a person within. We're all, like you said, who are you to think that you're better just because you can buy an expensive shirt or a car or whatever? That doesn't make you that doesn't give you any more value as a human being than the person who can't.
Yeah.
And I think in our community we have placed value on material things and what we have versus
our character.
Taking care of your family, raising up a family, and taking care of your responsibilities.
So the next one, the question was, can we build our community while drowning in debt?
No.
While drowning in debt, because that's what we do.
Debt is a killer.
And just like, so we go back to the house thing, right? Even with that, if you cannot afford it, that's debt. That's debt you're taking on.
That's debt. And I'm guilty. But what I will say is that's the only debt that I have is mortgage. So back in 2008, I got on Dave Ramsey's spending plan, and it, like I said, it changed everything for me. It changed the way I think. People will be amazed at your thought process once you eliminate debt from your life. It's like, because you think differently. Now you're not thinking
you don't want to get in it. So
how am I going to pay this bill? You're thinking, what can I do with it? I got money in the bank now. What can I do with it? And it changes your whole aspect. Debt is a chokehold. I advise anybody to eliminate. Now it's hard to buy a house cash. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not going to say you should or should not have a mortgage. I have a mortgage. That's very hard to do, but
you don't have to. But no, you don't have to
buy the most
extend the most. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to buy the most expensive, because what they do, they go out there and say, "What can you afford per month?"
Yeah,
and that's bullshit numbers. They give you is bullshit numbers. It's like
I never understood how you allow somebody else to come and tell you what you can spend on the house. You know your spending
habits. Yes,
you know how much money you bring in. It's up to you to say, okay, I can spend this much money on a house and be comfortable, and then you go from there and you follow that plan. And that's what I've done when I bought a house, but it kept me out of hard times for the most part, knowing that I had a comfortable mortgage that I could pay. It wasn't, something I had to piece things together in order to get that mortgage paid every month. Who wants to live like that? That's a level of stress that you just do not want to deal with.
And people don't understand, right? The reason we talk about stress is because stress is something that could take you out. It shortens your life, because every month you have to worry about something going on. You have to worry about paying this, paying that. And you never have time to enjoy yourself.
Yeah. I got a story about stress. Before I met Dave Ramsey, he changed my life. I said I met him. I just listened to it.
You just listened to the
I listened to this radio program, but and I've never been one to carry debt. I've always didn't like debt from an early age, but I had started accumulating a little debt, and I didn't realize it, but I was putting myself under a lot of stress trying to figure out certain things, and then I ended up getting shingles. And that was one of the things that caused it. Was the level of stress. And after that, I said, you know what? I gotta do
What the
something
fuck
different.
is shingles? I don't know.
Shingles is the virus that causes chickenpox. So if you ever had chickenpox, you're gonna have the shingle virus in your body.
What does it do? I mean, you be scratching and shit?
No, you don't scratch. So this is a little biology.
Okay,
lesson,
let's get it.
you
I
know.
mean, we talk about
So it's crazy as hell because it follows your nervous system.
Okay.
But it will only show up on one side of your body. But it's like blisters.
Okay.
And it hurts like hell. They say people have died from the pain, like older people.
Really?
Yeah, it was painful, but I didn't know I thought it was like heartburn. It was kind of sharp, and I had a couple of blisters across my chest, but they never crossed the center of my chest. It was the craziest thing in the world. Yeah, the blisters were all on my
Two-Face. You Batman character.
Blisters was all on the left side of my body. But at the time when it was happening, I thought I had gotten bitten either like by a spider or something, or I had got poison ivy, something like that. But it was like I said, it never crossed the center of my chest. So I finally go to the dermatologist, and he looks at it. He knew what it was right away, and he happened to have some students in there. He was like, "What is that?" And they called it what it was. It got a crazy name, medical name to it, but I can't remember what they called it. But
Nigolitis.
He has nigolitis. Look at him.
Look at him. He's definitely black. Look at him.
He has nigolitis, but he was like, it's shingles, and I was like, dang, shingles. I was like, I heard of that, but
I ain't even been on no damn roof.
Right. But when I heard of it, it was like a ancient. When I thought it was like an ancient disease, almost like polio. People used to have it,
yellow fever.
Yeah, you don't hear about it, but now you see the commercials about shingles. But he was like, he said, had you come in and saw us before it really started to break out, we could have stopped it, and you wouldn't be so much, because it's painful, because it's sharp pains. It's a crazy ass feeling. I can't even explain it, but. The whole point of me bringing up my shingles episode was from the stress,
diseases and shit.
Yeah, from the stress of. Right, you lucky it's not contagious like that.
Oh shit!
You might have it tomorrow.
He over here with these damn shingles.
But my point with bringing it up was the stress from my financial situation caused me to have for a shingles outbreak, because the virus is always there in your body, and when you under stress and have a weakened immune system, then it decides to to show up, and I know for a fact I was stressing out financially about a lot of stuff, and once I learned that, I said, well, I'm gonna remove all the stress out of my life. So I got out of debt, and I didn't have a lot of debt. Yeah, but it was debt.
Yeah,
I owed people
stuff you couldn't control. Basically,
yeah.
You felt like you controlled the situation.
I got out of debt, and I hadn't looked back since. And that's my thing. I'm not gonna stress myself over the day-to-day life. It's not worth it, because stress is probably the biggest killer out there. I mean, they never talk about it as a killer. Yeah, but it contributes to so many
heart
other
disease
things
and other stuff. Yeah.
Stress is and when your finances is not right, I promise you stressing. You don't know how you're gonna pay your bills or how you're gonna feed your kids. You are under stress, and if you're not, something is wrong with you.
You ain't shit as a person. I will say that you ain't shit as a person. That's exactly what it is. Let's see what the next one was. The next one was
what was that one?
About it's about drowning in debt.
Debt. Yeah, but that goes back to my first solution. Budget.
Well,
it's so...
the whole debt thing, we have to stop using credit cards too. It's not even about it starts off with us, because when I first went to college, they cars, man, I had about 2 cars. I'm like, oh shit.
But if you step back and look at it, you realize what they're doing. Why would you give a college kid who most likely has no source of income, the ability to rack up charges that they can't really pay for?
It's a trap.
Because in most cases, they hoping that you're gonna get into debt, and your parents gonna take care of that debt for you. Yeah. So they let you spend as much money as
they using you. They using you to get to your parents' money. Yeah. That's what they trying to do.
Yeah, and the interest rates on these credit cards, and that's another thing you need to know about is
24.9%.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you said, it's a trap.
Yeah, it's a trap,
and it's a legal trap that we have to be aware of and avoid. It's. When you using cash, you might not be able to get everything you want, but guess what? Once you buy it,
it's done. It's done. Yeah,
it's done. You can forget about it. The money's spent, it's gone, but you got what you were looking for, and it's over. You move on to the
keep it moving.
You keep it moving. Whereas when that credit card bill roll around every 31 days or 30 days,
shit over your head. You got it over your head.
you see it. You paying that little $25 every month on a $2,000 bill.
Yeah,
it'll tell you in the statement, if you paid the minimum, you'll be paying on this for the next 8.5 years.
Next year,
it'll tell you exactly how long you'll be paying.
Next 10 years, you paying for something. You paying for a damn belt for the next 10 years.
And I wish more people would look at it like that. They go out, they put a soda on a credit card. It costs you $1.20 to buy that soda, but you end up paying $7 for that soda because you didn't pay. You want to keep that recurring charge going for years and years at a time. It's not worth it if you do the math.
Yeah, what you have to do, and it's a formula to that. When you buy something, because you can buy something on credit, but every month you have to pay it off. Yeah, and that's the way you don't incur those
financial charges. Yeah, pay if you can't pay it off, don't
get it. Don't use it.
Use it to your advantage. It'll increase your credit score when you pay it off every month. It'll keep you out of financial hardship when you pay it off every month, and then it'll be open or clear for if you do run into an emergency, you can actually turn to your credit. How many people cannot pull out a credit card in an emergency situation because they have already maxed it out, or it's damn near maxed out? It's use it to your advantage. It's a source of leverage. I don't condone anybody. I won't tell anybody to go out and get a credit card for spending purposes. But if you do have one, use it to your advantage. You make it work for you and not you just work. I like them shoes. Let me swipe.
Swipe,
I'm telling you, I challenge anybody who's listening, paying attention, to go out and spend cash for 2 months, just cash, no credit, and then go back to a credit card and see the difference in your spending habits. When you spend it on a credit card, when you don't have to come out your pocket and count that money out. Oh yeah,
you don't even think about it. You don't give it a second thought.
Oh yeah, put that TV on there. Oh yeah, give me that ribeye. Give me them couple of ribeyes. Give me that shrimp, them crab legs. I don't eat none of that stuff, so I'm just saying. And you swipe it, you don't give it a second thought. Whereas when you have to go in your pocket, start peeling off greenbacks, you're like, damn. Okay, take half of them shrimp off of there.
give me a quarter pound.
Give me the 24-inch TV. It changes everything, man. And when you start looking at it and see the difference in your spending habits, because it's a psychological thing, it'll change your world, man. It changed mine, so I'm a proponent for it. So,
and we when I was in that mindset, right before I think my early 30s, whatever. It was just work, because I had to pay. Pay bills. So it wasn't like I had to take time to. Oh, I got money here. Let me go on vacation. Let me take some time. No, it's work. Hey, I got to get these people off my ass. They on my back. I feel them breathing. So
they on my neck.
Yeah, they on my neck. Get the hot air breath off my neck. So we need to understand that, because that's the reason why a lot of times men, die early.
Oh yeah,
because of stress from all the other stuff.
I'll be, I think we were designed to manage all the stress, but I don't want to die early.
Yeah, exactly.
So if we are gonna manage the stress, make it a manageable level. Don't take on more than your body or your mindset can handle. Don't create unnecessary stress. And a lot of stuff, you just don't know offhand. Somebody has to kind of show you, or you got to see somebody else doing it. And that's why I say, pass this along to your kids, or find somebody who's doing some stuff that you're trying to do and ask them, how did you get there? How did you? And I'll be honest with you, people ask and you tell them and they still won't do it. But, but at least they're asking.
Like I say, it takes discipline.
So they know.
It takes discipline. The majority of people don't have that type of discipline.
But I realized, and I don't want to get into how much money people make, but after a certain amount of money that you make a year, it's really not a big difference. And I've never been like a multi-millionaire, so I can't say what they have. But when you can go out and just you can pay for groceries, keep your lights on and stuff like that, how much more can you really do in life?
Everything else is excess.
It's excess. So after you reach a certain point, it's you think it's in your mind is great. How many times you don't went out and said, man, if I get this, my life gonna change.
Yeah,
you
and
try to
it's
get
really
it.
not.
You're like, man, it's the same old life I done had all along.
It's gonna change for the couple weeks,
for that
a week or
minutes,
so.
for that 5 minutes,
a week or so. You're gonna feel great.
Yeah, then you back to
then you're gonna look for something else to make you feel
and
like
that's when you start talking about that dopamine.
Yeah,
and
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Dopamine rushes.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So, but yeah, credit card debt, debt period.
Yeah.
I challenge anybody, eliminate as much debt as you can,
And especially in our age range, right? Because at in your mid to late 40s, you are preparing for retirement. So the less debt you have going into retirement, that's the more money you have to live on.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about this in our community. We really don't.
because we think we're gonna be young forever. And
yeah, we trying to 40 is new 20. Talking that bullshit,
nah, 40 is 40, baby.
Yeah, 40 is
You
40.
been here
You
40
close
years.
to 60,
You close-
65.
Hey,
when
if you
it's-
closer to 80 than you are to zero, most
Yeah,
likely.
yeah.
So just think about it in that term. And who want to be somewhere working somebody else's job at
70 years old at
75?
Walmart. Welcome to Walmart.
Not because you want to, but because
Yeah,
you have
you
to.
have to. Mhm.
If not, you'll be eating cat food.
Yeah,
You
you
still
be-
might be
that's
eating cat food.
Yeah.
You might be stealing cat food from Walmart. Who knows?
But yeah, I mean that's a real thing, and I think our community really we're in trouble. We're going to be in trouble with this. In 10 to 15 years, we're going to see a bunch of people, even more people homeless, even more people that are struggling to feed their families, or even when they get up in age, can't even take care of themselves, like
it's,
medicine and shit.
I've read about different households how they can't put their hands on $1,000, you
Mhm.
know, and that's fine for now. But like you said, you get up in age, you still can't put your hand on $1,000.
It's a problem.
60 years old.
That's life or death.
Yeah, you talking about living or dying.
Mhm.
That's a real thing, and you just said it. It's going to be a problem in the future if you don't change your spending ways now. So
Yeah, it's best to change and not have to, whatever.
Right.
Versus you have to and you hadn't changed.
You don't wanna be forced
Yeah,
into
forced
it.
to change. Yeah, it's a totally different feeling.
because then you fighting it. You
Yeah.
like, oh man, this
And that's when you get more stressed because you're being forced to do something you really don't want to do.
Yeah.
And
this apple don't taste that bad, man. You don't want to be eating cat food. Man. But that's a real thing for a lot of people.
Shit. No.
You see the way it looks.
No,
when
man.
it can
Yeah,
come out
no.
the same shape.
Yeah, that collagen, whatever that shit called, the damn gel and shit.
Collagen or
Yeah,
whatever. I
whatever.
don't know what it is.
Coagulate, whatever. The next one is: are we raising our kids to be labor whores?
Yes.
Labor whores. That's what this. We raising a little labor whores.
Anybody who has kids, I guarantee you can ask them what's the new fashion. They can run out the labels too.
Yeah.
It's not a look. It's a name.
Mhm.
It's one thing. If it's a look, cool. You can match that look up with however you want to go. But most likely your kids, they know the name of these clothes.
Balenciaga.
Yeah, my son has dropped some names on. I'm like, what is that? What they said that? Because he ain't got no money. I'm trying. to
Yeah,
find what you-
exactly. Why are you talking about this when you can't afford
How
it?
can you talk about these things that you can't afford? So, it's I think that's America. Period.
Mhm.
I hear labels being dropped, and it's almost like it's a social status. Oh, I wear whatever. or,
Mhm. Oh yeah, especially young people. The youngsters.
And I'm say this again. There's nothing wrong with having nice things if you can afford it. And when I say afford it, I mean your bank account is not empty because you purchased it. You can still eat, you can still pay your bills, you still got money in the bank, fine. Set something aside every month to say, okay, make that a goal of yours. If you want a particular pair of shoes or some kind of fancy bag, put a couple of dollars aside every month and say, I'm putting this is my bag fund or this is my shoe fund. But don't be impulse buyers. That's the worst. That's one of the worst feelings in the world. Thinking, man, I get this, I'm gonna love this, and you get it. And after you wore it and somebody done stepped on it at the club or whatever, it don't look good.
It's
no more.
it's
And you
shit.
just like, man, this is a joke, man. But yeah, that's but you still chasing that euphoria, that dopamine
The
we talking
dopamine.
about.
And my thing about the kids being labor whores is that by being parents doing this for kids, what are they going to work for? What are they going to work for? We giving our kids stuff, these labels all the time. When they grow up, they think they should have it.
Yeah.
Hey, they deserve this shit. And you're setting your kids up to find the best way possible to get whatever it is. So now, because they don't know how to work for it, because you didn't, as a parent, you didn't make them work for it to get it. Like, you didn't say, okay, well, this is how you're going to get it. This is the lesson you should give your kids. Oh, you want that right there? You want them, whatever, Jordans? Okay. You're going to have to do this.
Go ahead and cut this grass.
Yeah, this grass is, I would be paying somebody $50 or whatever I get my grass cut. So that's $50 go to you if you cut it. So how many weeks you got to cut, or how many other weeks every other week? It's going to take you a month and something to get.
See, I make them do extra. It's, cutting the grass. You live here.
Yeah. I'm saying some people
you
don't.
Cut this thing.
Yeah.
But you want, you
some extra.
Let me show what it takes to get what you want. You got to go out here and work for it. And be willing to. And then you got to ask yourself, is the work I'm doing? Say you put in.
It's my time. Yeah, I'm putting into it.
Say you put in, 6 hours one Saturday to cut grass so you can get these Jordans. Was it worth it to just to say I got these Jordans? And to some people it might be, but you got to really start determining, was it the hard work I put in for these 6 hours in the sun, sweating
and everything,
passing out? Was it worth these shoes that somebody stepped on as soon as I, or they got dirty?
Yeah, they got dirty, and now I don't like them no more.
You're right, they don't fit right. My feet hurt when I wear them.
Or I grew my feet and grew and. Damn, I did all this work.
Right. I only wore them for a couple months, and then my feet grew. Especially these kids like 15, 16 years old, they feet growing every other week, seem like. So, man, that's we raising our kids to be labor whores.
But I think that's the start of financial literacy for kids. Doing that, that's the start of it. That first lesson is understand you're leveraging your time for something that's gonna. It's not gonna be worth anything.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? Yeah.
And that's something I like to bring my personal experience into these conversations. But that's something I try to push into my kids' head is, as much as people worship money and want money, time is more valuable than anything out there because nobody can get any extra. It's only 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with your 24 hours? If you cutting grass to try to get some Jordans. Was it worth it? Could you be doing something different to take you beyond Jordans and not that delay? Not the delay, but thinking about gratification down the road versus getting these Jordans tomorrow. Time is the real money out there. To me, that's the real currency. Is how you use your time, how you spend your time. So it's only 24 hours in a day. Nobody gets more. Nobody.
So this question, I thought about you when I did this, and I'm like, oh shit, he gonna go in on this one.
No, not.
Have we become mindless drones to media funded by companies?
It's funny, but it's a real thing, and this is kind of off the subject a little bit, but we have to protect our minds and our mind state. I don't know if people realize, but we are under like a psychological warfare. And people, they hear me talking, they're like, this dude crazy. No, I'm not. Because I sit there and watch it in my own household. I remember it was a commercial on TV, and they never said the name of the company, but the colors on the commercial were red and yellow. And my daughter said, "Oh, this is a McDonald's commercial," and I'm like, "How the hell did you know that?" She's been programmed.
You've been programming.
McDonald's did a better job than I did of reaching my daughter. She was able to recognize a McDonald's commercial throughout the entire commercial. They never showed a hamburger. They never showed anything that McDonald's had but the colors. It was a red and yellow. And I was like, this is the strangest shit in the world. Oh, can we say it? Well, I was like, this is the strangest thing in the world. But she recognized immediately. And then at the end, said it was McDonald's. I was like, whoa. And that's when I realized, letting your kids sit there in front of this TV or social media, whatever, they are being programmed. Not just your kids, you are being programmed as well. whether you realize it or not.
Majority of people don't even understand how they are.
They don't understand it. This, outside of for a company, outside of the labor force where they spend, to pay people to work there, their next biggest investment is into people.
Yeah.
Psychology. How you react to products.
Data actually. Yeah, the data from whatever you look on in social media.
Social media is free because your information is so much more important than what they can charge you every month, because they get to sell that to whoever and whenever, and then that's how they market to people. And people think it's a no, it's a real marketing.
It's science behind it.
It's absolutely. They spend. You'll be surprised what these companies spend in psychology, like I said, science, how they deliver
analyzing
it, age groups, all of that stuff goes into play. And if you don't, it's one thing to be aware of it and then you participate in this, but I think the majority of people are not aware of what's taking place, why they are able to get on Instagram and do these things for free, or get on Facebook, and it's a reason that you're given this platform.
I want to mention, I've said this before on the show, the most successful marketing marketing mind screw in history was the Diamond Company.
Research diamonds. I'm not even going to details.
Just research diamonds and how diamonds became a big thing. How diamonds became synonymous with love and women being women's best friends. Yes, that's the best in all history. That's the best marketing job that they put together, and every woman from now on to the end of time is gonna follow that, and they believe it wholeheartedly.
And the easiest way to prove this is anybody who's listening who has any kind of diamonds, try to take them back and get the same value that you purchased them for, and it will not happen.
Worthless.
It will not happen.
Worthless.
You have gold, you get market value for gold. You got silver, you get market value.
No, you don't get market value. No,
I say you get market value.
You get something, but yeah.
But it has a market
value.
Oh,
it has a market value. Yeah.
I misspoke.
Yeah.
Silver, same thing. Platinum, same thing. You take your diamonds somewhere and say, "Oh, these is VVS's, E's, nah,
worthless."
Yeah, they were like, "Yeah, whatever." But you want to buy these other diamonds I got?
I got some more I can put with it though.
And they got some of these jewelry companies out here. They know people kind of hip to the game, so what they say, "Oh, we'll give you what you spend on these, but you got to spend twice as much in order to get the upgrade for us to take those back."
Oh yeah, okay,
and then upgrade you. So they get to take those back, sell them again for what you paid for them, and then you got to pay double in order to get you something new. So it's the diamond hustle is real.
Man, I wish I was around when that's it. Boy,
diamond, because is there a stock ticker for diamonds?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say no.
I don't think so. It's not. Yeah, don't think so.
It does not. Nobody is investing in diamonds.
I don't think it's that.
No, it's not a stock ticker. Now you can probably invest in companies who sell diamonds because they
got other stuff.
They got an excellent marketing campaign to sell those diamonds, so the company is making money. But you will not find it on the element chart. You will not find it in what is that? A commodities.
No, it's not commodity.
It's not oil. It's not gold. It's not silver. It's not copper. Any of the metals.
No, they do have diamonds on the ticker. DIA. It is.
For what? What? It's the ETF.
What's it? It's an ETF. Yeah, Exchange Traded Fund. Index based Exchange Traded Fund. Known as the SPDR, Dow Jones Industrial Average. Diamond ETF trades on that under ticker symbol DIA.
DIA.
Alternative investments. Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't put money into it.
No.
Yeah.
Because there's no money there.
No. Hey, okay. I'll look into that later. But there ain't no money there.
I'm telling you research diamonds.
Yeah. Well, I know it, is worthless, because what they do, they hold the diamonds to try to act like it's
a shortage.
It's a shortage of diamonds, but diamonds are everywhere.
They're creating the supply and demand, baby, and that's pretty much economics in a shell. It's supply and demand. That's funny. Social media.
Yeah.
So let me hear your views on this this media influence. What you?
Oh,
Because I don't even go.
well,
I
yeah, I
can go
mean,
on about
yeah,
that.
I always say the same thing about we get, like you said, we are being used to fund everything by what we view. The algorithms pick up what we view, and it says, okay, they view this. I mean, you can even say stuff sometime, and next thing you know, you'll see ads on your email. You see ads on your social media. You see ads everywhere. You even get stuff to your phone sometime, and it's like this is crazy because what is that show? It was a show. It was one of the movies. I think it was like Total Recall or something like that, where you walking around and there's stuff popping up and everything or something.
Was it total? I'm thinking about Minority
Report.
Minority
That's what
Report.
that was the Minority Report,
That's
baby.
what they were,
yeah.
and
And stuff popping up and everything. That's just like what it is.
That's becoming a real thing.
Yeah.
Not so much with that. I'm talking about the fact that you are guilty of something before you've
Oh,
even
you
done
talking about
it.
that? Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
aspect as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
In Minority Report, that's kind of
Hey,
that's kind of funny.
We are at the point to where we get inundated with ads all day long, and like you said, we don't like the first time we don't notice it, whatever, but we take it in, and the second time we start notice, third time start noticing. It was like, oh wow, what's I wonder what this, and then next thing you know, you go and get it.
Hey, I can't tell you how many times I've opened my phone and like I need to call or whatever, and the ad shows up of some stuff I was looking at because I like to do online shop. I don't even like to go to the mall anymore.
You don't want to go dodge bullets in Linux?
Nah. I said, that's right. I was looking at this. Let me look at it again. Hey, 20 minutes later, I don't forgot what I was supposed to be doing. I was like, what,
you worried about that product?
I'm like, and I don't see it anymore. And maybe because I
you look at something else, though.
I recognize what's going on. I know, so now even if I did see it, I can avoid it. But it's a real thing. It's a reason. Like I said, it's a reason all these media sites, because nothing in this world is free.
Well, they put a lot of money into that. And
So
there's a
you
reason I
using
spend that
somebody's
money.
website to promote your business or whatever, to promote your brand, and you saying it's free. It ain't free. It's a cost to be paid with that. And just because you're not paying it directly right now, it's a cost to be paid with that. And maybe not by you, but by the people around you.
Other people, the people in your community, because they might not be mindful. That's the biggest thing about our community. Like a lot of people, we aren't mindful of things happening. We take everything at face value and think is doing something for us. It's helping us. Oh, they doing this for us. Oh, look, I remember the first time I saw black people in commercials, like really, and I'm like, oh shit, my first mind was like, oh damn, we're being accepted. Then I started thinking, I'm like, hold on.
Money too.
We starting to go around there, and put our money in it. Oh, they want our money.
They want
okay,
your money.
Man, damn this shit.
They want your money.
When somebody told me, like, man, they don't give a damn about you. I had to tell them, it was like, man, you always pessimistic. You always.
No, I just ask the question. Why black people now? We've been here.
Yeah, we've been. Yes.
So why now?
We've been here.
Oh, they got money too.
And just like just like the LGBTQ, right? IA plus. Same thing with them, right? It's like we're accepted. They're accepting us. No, that's the next group. Like they've tapped out the black group. The black people spending money what they spend money on. Now they need a new group of people to spend money and veer the wealth some way.
Well, I think even with the whole, I don't know the numbers. I mean the letters.
No.
The LG. I'm not gonna try to reproduce what you said, but with them, it's so many of those individuals in position of power. That they mean more to consumption than black people. So now you're seeing the commercials push more towards. You might see a couple, two men, eating a bowl of Cheerios together, or you know what I'm saying.
I'm not about to say what I'm about to say. Hey, Ashley, what's up? Hey, y'all check Ashley out. She'll be on after this. Actually, she should be on about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Black Girl Interrupted, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple, Tidal, wherever you want to see a podcast. She's on all of them. So check out Black Girl Interrupted. But yeah, I was about to say something, but I'm not gonna say
No,
that. I'm not gonna say that.
But my whole point is, that's what if you pay attention to the commercials now, that's where you see the marketing. It's for the gay community. It's for the I don't want to say gay, because gay just means happy.
Yeah.
The homosexual community.
Yeah. Well,
the
alternative lifestyles.
Alternative lifestyle. Or now you're starting to see. We talked about this before. It's the interracial stuff. Now everybody's
that
interracial.
Too. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
I'm like, that's just not a real thing. Of course there are interracial marriages, but that's not the majority.
But it's the market. Yeah, but it's the market.
It's
people.
The market. It's to say, well, if we accept these guys, then everybody else gonna fall in right behind them. Because now you killing 3 birds with 1 stone. You killing the interracial, black and white, or whatever mix they choose to put on to the couple. So you being, I'm not gonna say you're being played, but it's a psychological. It's psychological.
Oh yeah,
warfare.
it's all psychological.
And if you don't understand that's what's happening, then you're gonna fall for it. You're gonna assume, like you said, they accept us now. No, that's not the case. They just want your money.
They want your money.
Everything in America. America is about money. It's called capitalism for a reason. You capitalizing on whatever opportunity you can. And I'm not even knocking it. I think it's the best tool out there because it allowed America to be where it is today. But people, the haves have really changed the rules on the people who don't have.
It's a bigger gap.
There it is.
Yeah, the gap is widening also.
And it's a reason that we don't know these things. And I'm gonna say this. It's hopefully it makes sense to whoever's paying attention. But a guy told me, he said, if somebody takes the time to write something down and put it in a book, and it can't be understood by the average reader, 5th grade reader, it was done.
It was a reason.
It was done that way on purpose.
Yeah, it's done that on purpose. Yeah.
It's to make you feel like, oh, I'm smarter than you. You don't even try to understand what's going on here. When in reality,
it's to separate.
It's to keep you where you are.
Yeah.
Don't you dare think you can come up here and hang out with the big guys. So I just want people to be aware of what's going on.
I don't know. I can't think of nothing else. That's it. Because I'm about to start going off and other stuff. And
that's cool. Yeah. But let's just do a quick recap. This is really the whole point of it was talking about the cancers in the Black community, and this was one of them that we thought, was a big, I guess, has a big impact on the Black community is consumerism, or like the material mindset, thinking that material things, are more important than basic values as far as human life. Because people dying, and I can't get over the death rates in our community. It's staggering. If you ever need something to wake you up, start looking at some of the death rates. It's unbelievable.
Start watching the news. A lot of people don't even watch the news because they don't want to. They don't want to see none of that. They don't want to.
I don't watch the news because it's some more of that psychological warfare.
But you need to know what's going on in the neighborhood.
You sound like Mr. Norman.
Yeah,
like, man, you gotta watch. I'm like, man, I ain't watching.
You got to know what's going on in the neighborhood, or what's going on in the world. Period.
You're right, because it's like I didn't know about the collapse in Miami.
Yeah, my sister down there,
and people were talking about it. I'm like, what? Because I do not look at any kind of outside news source, So I was completely clueless when people were talking about that. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, the condominium, I guess, collapsed. So
see, I don't watch the news. What I do, I just scroll on my phone because you got a news thing. I scroll over and then boom.
But so much of
and you'll see everything.
And that's the problem is, like I said, I'm gonna be the person who falls victim to, like, when a real crisis hits.
Yes,
I'm gonna fall victim to it because
and asteroids.
And it's because of conditioning, because I know that 99% of that crap they put on the news is worthless information. You talking about a 24-hour news cycle on like some of these cable news stations. Nobody's life is that fucking. Nobody's life is that exciting, where it's something constantly going on. So they recycling the same news.
No, all the news stations,
or they got some old obscure. I used to wonder.
Following social media also done now.
Yeah, I will be looking at local news, and out of the blue they were like, "Yeah, this couple in Kentucky, whatever." I'm like, why are we talking about somebody in Kentucky? Because there's no news here where we are. That's why. and it's even the people in Kentucky, the news they're talking about for them is pointless. But you know, I always wonder how those stories get onto the news. If they in Kentucky, how did?
Well, it's what's popular because they see it's algorithms once again. Now they do social media, whatever's trending on social media, it comes on the news.
And that's what I'm saying. I used to wonder that. I know why it does now, but I used to wonder. I'm like, why are we talking about something that happened in California? This is Georgia. I'm trying to get the weather report. You know, is it gonna rain today or not? You know, but and they're like, we'll be right back with the weather report. And
you have to sit there and wait for it.
Like,
now you hearing other bullshit while you wait.
Yeah, you know. And they would save it to the end, and they finally give me the weather report after I done looked at 30 minutes of news. I said, "Wow!" But they got a job to do too, so they trying to pay for ad space just like every other TV program. But we don't beat this a little bit.
Consumerism.
Consumerism. So we, like I said, my thing is budgeting. Be aware of where you're spending your money. Let that dollar circulate in our community a little bit, before it leaves. And I'm not telling you to pay for poor products just because somebody's black. I don't believe in that at all. I'm not supporting poor business at all. But if you know somebody's doing a good job, continue to support them. Continue to and spread the word.
Spread the word,
to
about
other people to support these people. And money is power. And is power in leverage.
Use the right way.
Use the right way. Yeah. So let's get our money up. Let's get some power back because we make up what 12-13%.
And we spend majority of the money in this country.
We spend a whole lot of money. So if we start using that money in a different way, the future is bright to the moon.
Yeah. Teach your kids. So teach your kids the right way because you're not gonna be here forever, and your kids not knowing something, every generation we get further away from the truth.
Oh,
and that's
so I did write that down.
Yeah, yeah, and that's part of the problem with this whole consumerism issue is that we used to know it, and I'm on leaving. I'm gonna play another video while we leaving, and it's from 1964, I think 1960 something with Malcolm X. He's talking about it.
Malcolm was on top. Malcolm was aware of a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
he was ahead of his time.
Yeah,
Malcolm was ahead of his time.
So in closing, hey, we need to keep this on our lips. We need to keep this in the forefront, talking to each other about spending money properly, saving money, insurance, building wealth, teaching our kids, teaching the youth what it is to save and how to spend and what things are really worth, and give them actual value, not what they got on their back, not what they got on their feet, but give them actual value. The value, most of your value is your character and what's up here. That's where your value,
and then
that's where the value is.
And then when you get that taken care of, and if you got some money in the bank, that's value too if you know how to leverage it properly. So let's teach them how to manage money properly. Don't throw it away. Why go work all day to give it away for a cheap, I don't want to call it a cheap thrill, but a quick fix. A quick dopamine high.
Atlanta Falcons did when he lost the first Super Bowl.
Boy, you've been a line stepper. You've been a line stepper. It's time to cut the show off.
Anyway, I'm about to play this video so y'all can see, this has been talked about since the 60s. So here's a video. Y'all can check it out, and then we out.
If white immigrants can come to this country 50 years ago with nickels and dimes and no education, and come here and pool their little nickels and dimes and no education, and set up little stores, develop these stores into larger stores, develop this into an industry which creates job opportunities for whites. Since Lincoln was supposed to have freed the black man 100 years ago, and today the black man, according to the government economist, has spending power of $20 billion per year. We feel that with the black man spending $20 billion a year, not setting up any businesses, not creating any industry, not creating any job opportunities for his own kind, he's not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and tell the white man that he's discriminating against him for not giving him a job in factories that he himself set up. If the black man has $20 billion, and these so-called Negro leaders are such geniuses that they can integrate white restaurants and integrate white factories and force themselves into that which the white man has set up, they should use this same ingenuity to show the black people how to pool our wealth and set up something of our own. And then we won't have to force our way into his anymore. One more thing I would like to point out concerning what he said about 125th Street. We don't waste our time on 125th Street, but you can reach more people in the street who want to change than you can in the bourgeoisie society, the bourgeoisie church, and the bourgeoisie circles. Our program is directed toward the man in the street. So we spend our time in the street, and what we do with that man, instead of trying to change the white man in your mind, make you accept us, we change the mind of the black man and make him accept himself. And as soon as he accepts himself, he'll solve his own problem. He won't be trying to force himself into your factory and into your bedroom and into your kitchen.